elements in the study of wildlife. We hitched a lift on one of the recent visits to Chester Zoo. Alex Sharkey reports.
Every year, the University of Salford runs field trips out and about to the country's top institutes of environmental sciences to further the students' involvement in the practical elements of their studies.
Well, we go to Chester Zoo twice every year, sometimes to do behaviour studies, sometimes to have lectures from the keepers. Chester Zoo is probably one of the best zoos, not just in this country but in the world, and they have a great deal of expertise. So instead of just listening to staff at the university, we have lectures from the vets, the nutritionist, the education officers and some of the senior keepers, and we get an opportunity to go behind the scenes in the elephant house, the parrot breeding facility and anywhere else they're prepared to take us. We have two different reasons to go to Chester Zoo. On one of our trips we go and do animal behaviour studies, so students select a species that they're interested in and they do a short study that they then present as their assignment. The other reason we go is to have specialist lectures from the staff.
The students were given a tour around the zoo by the resident guides for each specific area of study.
Whenever we take students out, I think they always gain an awful lot more than when we teach them in the classrooms, because we can show them the animals and they can start to see the things we can only talk about in theory or show them pictures of in lectures. So I'm sure they always find these field trips a very useful part of the course.
Extremely useful because we're learning much more about the conservation that's attached to the zoos and what projects they're involved with, which you can read about, but when you're actually here, you know, asking questions and looking at the exhibits.
Pretty essential actually. It helps break up a lot of the boredom that can consist of doing lessons and lectures. It's really good. It gets you a lot more hands-on experience as well, especially when you get to do talks and stuff with professionals who are in something that you might want to go into.
Field trips provide familiarity with the management and general care of the zoo animals, as well as giving the student an idea of what is involved in a job in environmental sciences.
Some of our students are studying for a degree in wildlife conservation with zoo biology, and a trip to Chester Zoo gives those students an opportunity to see the sorts of careers that might be open to them in the future in a large professionally run zoo. Some of those jobs involve zookeeping work, but others are jobs in education or conservation or curatorial work.
I want to go work over in America, doing like the forestry service or the game and fish and game wildlife service over there.
I'm hoping to set up a charity next year, so it's extremely useful for me personally because I can look at each individual species and where that's placed within organisations already.
The guides provide details about the running of the zoo, giving lectures and describing the animal environments they work in. The work of the guides is highly appreciated by the visitors.
They're brilliant. Like, obviously they're doing the job for a reason. They know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about, so there's no one better to come and ask than them.
Alex Sharkey, CTV, Chester Zoo.